All right, we got about a minute left to start the second half here between St. Peter's Prep, the Marauders, and the home team that are the Riviera Prep Bulldogs, the three-time defending 2A champions. And we're at Miami High's gym. It's called the Asylum. It's home of the 19-time world champions, Miami High Stingarees. Well, Florida State champions, rather. There's a lot of rafters, there's a lot of banners hanging from the rafters, a lot of history here. And we're under a minute. We'll be right back with the remainder of this game. And we have two more games after this. In this, the Miami Holiday Invitational. There's a look at Coach Alex Mirabel. His assistants are William James, Chris Laura, and Coach Mo. For the Riviera Prep, head coach is Anthony Shabazz. His assistants are Adam Maching, Brian Glassford, Corey Stevens, Gardy Byrne, Colby Brown, and Joe Fuentes. We're about to get underway here for the second half of, I think it's like the fourth or the fifth game. A total 8 games today here at Miami High. See if we get the clock going. 8 minutes. Hang on. This is supposed to go. All right, fuck it. All right, welcome back to the second half of the game. Riviera's up 31-25. St. Peter's Prep has the ball, working the offense. And that's a travel on Oscar Martinez, a turnover. It'll be Riviera ball. Riviera Prep coming off of a championship season. Here's Fuentes from 3. Big rebound there by number 22, that's Safin. Anton Safin with a big rebound. Here's Quincy Dalby Jr. with the left hand, doesn't make it. Outlet pass now to Richard Rosa, who feeds it inside to Nick Fernandad. And he's fouled by Anton Safin. So Ferdinand will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Marauders that are down by 6 right now. Here's Ferdinand trying to cut into that lead. And he does. 26-31. There's head coach Mirabel talking to one of his players. Ferdinand makes both. It's 27-31 from the Asylum. Here comes Dalby. Looks inside to J.J. Watts with the left hand, turns around short. Rebound, Derek Gomez. Hard to see the numbers on the team from Jersey City. They're wearing a dark shirt and have a dark uniform. Dark numbers. And there's a turnover picked up by J.J. Watt. Watt feeds Safin inside for an easy bucket. 27-33 in favor of the 3-time defending state champions, the Riviera Prep Bulldogs. There's Martinez. Feeds Richard Rosa back to Martinez. That one goes off Martinez, and it could be a backcourt violation, and it is. It'll be a turnover. Riviera ball. Coming into the game for the Marauders, number 24, Ryan Udo Obong. Inbound by Fuentes to his brother Miles, who's handling the ball on the left side. Finds his brother streaking across the middle. Mason, he gets rejected at the rim. Rebound goes to the Marauders, an outlet pass, and that one's broken up by Miles Fuentes, who feeds Dalby Jr. Got fouled going up to the rim. He's slow getting up, but he comes to his feet. Uncle Muggs alongside Jamil, the JV player. And we're at the Asylum. Substitutions for the Marauders. This is Dalby Jr. He makes the second one. It's 34-27 in favor of the three-time Florida State champion Riviera Bulldogs. This is Richard Rosa. Miles Fuentes all over him. Rosa works the right side, a jumper from the elbow. Rebound goes to J.J. Watts. Brings it up the court, gives it to Mason, finds Safin inside for an easy bucket. Anton Safin. And now the Bulldogs are starting to run away with it. They're up by 9 now. Watts is pressuring Mason Santiago on defense. Santiago kicks it out to Ryan. Inside, contested, J.J. Watts. Long outlet pass to Fuentes. An alley-oop to his brother, and he slams it home. And the Bulldogs are up by 11. The Marauders have to call a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. And the momentum is gone the Riviera Bulldogs' way here at the Asylum. An alley-oop from brother to brother. What'd you think of that, Jamil? That was crazy. All right. Jamil, future broadcaster, what position do you play? Shooting guard. We need a lot of those. You lefty or righty? Okay. You go the other way? Okay, I like that. That's good. You got to be versatile nowadays. We are at the Asylum. You know anything about this 100-year-old building that we're in? Don't know a lot. Let me educate you. There's 19 banners up here. No other gym in the state of Florida can say they have 19 championships. Not even close. So we're sitting in history. Some of these beams right here are 100 years old. There's a look at the Marauders head coach, Alex Mirabel, and he's getting into his Marauders right now because they're down by 11, 4:47 to go in the third. The momentum is definitely on the side of the Bulldogs. The Marauders will have the ball. They come into this game 3-0 out of Jersey City, New Jersey. Full court pressure now by Prep Bulldogs. And that's Rosa dribbling through the pressure. And he hands it off to Bishop Foster. He gives it back to Rosa. Here's Mason Santiago. Rosa almost loses it. And the jumper is good. That's Mason Santiago. And quickly down the other end, a wild shot by one of the Fuentes brothers. And boy, Riviera's really swinging it around. The lefty missed that one in a putback. I think that was Miles Fuentes. There's a nice move by Rosa, but he's short. Safin with the rebound. There's a long three-pointer. Gets his own rebound. J.J. Watt gives it over to Fuentes, and Fuentes has a soft rim. a friendly one at that. And he makes the three-pointer. And now Bulldogs are up by 13. The head coach for the Marauders has to call a timeout again just to stop the bleeding. And there's a good camera work there. You're in the huddle with the Marauders. Uncle Muggs in the booth. Big swing here, huh? Yeah. A lot of momentum going the other way. So momentum's a big part of this game. You know, you've seen it. Goes one way, goes another, and it can change just at a drop of a hat. This was a three-point game a little while ago, and now it seems to be all in favor of the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs have put together a decent season. They've had some good games. I think they beat St. Thomas earlier this year. So, I mean, you got to hand it to these guys. I mean, they've won their class 3 years in a row. Bulldogs up by 13. Marauders ball out of Jersey City, New Jersey. It's the St. Peter's Prep Marauders. That's Mason Santiago setting up a play, working it inside. That's Caden Post. Gives it back to Martinez. This is Mason Santiago working on one of the Fuentes brothers. He gives it up to Oscar Martinez. Crossover. Anton all over him. Inside pass and a nice tough bucket there. That's Bishop Foster. Coast to coast dribbling, a crazy shot, but that one goes in. Count the basket and the foul for Quincy Dalby Jr., and he's going to go to the line to shoot one. Gomez picks up the foul. On the line to shoot one is Dalby Jr., Quincy Dalby Jr., and he's in for the injured Randy Livingston. Actually, Anton Safin is in for the injured Livingston. We're at the Miami Holiday Invitational. We have a good one here. If you're a Bulldog fan, it's going to be a foul on Mason Fuentes. And Mason Santiago will go to the line to shoot two for the Marauders that are down. And they're going to need to make every free throw. They're going to need to be perfect for the remaining 2:36 that we have here in the third period. And for all of the fourth period, they're going to have to play flawless basketball just to get back into this. Time is not on their side. Fuentes makes one. Coming back into the game for the Bulldogs is Leo Moreno, number 13, the 5'8 junior guard. Pretty seasoned team, these Bulldogs. They got a bunch of seniors, a bunch of juniors, and there's a big rebound for Miles Fuentes. Gives it to his brother Mason, who gives it back to Miles, gives it back to Mason. And Mason dribbles inside, and he finds JJ, who gets rejected. That was Mason Santiago with the rejection. Here's Mason dribbling it up the court. He finds Caden Post. He gets tied up. Post with the fadeaway, hits the front iron. Post gets his own rebound, feeds it over to, that was Bishop Foster, who fought for his own miss, picked it up. There's a foul called on the Marauders, number 11, Mason Santiago in the back court. It'll be Riviera Prep Bulldogs ball here on the side court. Mason Fuentes will pick it up. 12-point game. 2 minutes left to go in the third period, and we're live on FSPN from the Miami Holiday Invitational at the Asylum, home of the Stingarees. Fuentes with a long three, in and out. Big rebound, a struggle for the rebound. And that was Santiago that came up with it. They're going to call a jump ball. Some substitutions for the Bulldogs. Coming in is number 32, Miles Lowe. So we have Miles Lowe, Dalby Jr. on the court, both Fuentes brothers, and Leo Moreno. Those are the 5 for Riviera Prep. This is Post, dribbling up, Caden Post. Bishop Foster. This is Mason Santiago. Miles Fuentes guarding him. Now they switch. Moreno's guarding him. He brings it inside, and a nice bucket for Mason Santiago. Makes it a 10-point game. Moreno and Fuentes play catch with each other. Here's Dalby looking inside. They found Fuentes. Back iron, no good. Derek Gomez with the rebound for the Marauders. He hands it over to Post. This is Caden Post. Moreno's all over him. Behind the back dribbling. That's going to be a foul, number 13 for the Bulldogs, Leo Moreno. And you're watching the Miami Holiday Invitational from the Asylum here on the campus of Miami High. Uncle Muggs and FSPN bringing you some live coverage of high school tournament basketball the day after Christmas. That ball's tipped out of bounds. It'll be Marauders' ball. Mason Santiago takes it out from underneath the basket. He's looking for Post, and there's a turnover. Leo Moreno comes up with it, quickly gives it to Miles, who feeds Quincy Dalby Jr. And the Bulldogs are really spreading the ball around. Everybody's gotten some touches. Long pass over to Mason Santiago. Gets it into Martinez, who's being guarded by Dalby Jr. 16 seconds left to go in the third period. This is Mason Santiago. Passes Post from 3. That's short. Rebound, scramble. Dalby Jr. picks it up. 4 seconds left. There's Miles with another alley-oop to his brother, and that was a carbon copy. It looked like almost an instant replay of how the previous quarter ended. And right now it's 50-36 in favor of Riviera Prep. Boy, you talk about momentum and talk about ball movement. And these two Fuentes brothers are really taking it to the Marauders. And the Marauders are no slouches. They come in here 3-0. They won their county last year. They're out of Jersey City, New Jersey. And we have some music playing in the background, so we're going to hit mute for a little bit, and we'll be right back. Well, you can hear head coach Mirabel up here barking at his Marauders, trying to get them on track here. All right, finally turned off the music here. On the court is going to be the Fuentes brothers for Riviera Prep. Dalby Jr.'s in there. J.J. Watt is in there as well. And Miles Lowe make up the 5. And now they have some size on the court for the Fuentes brothers. J.J. Watts gives it back to Mason Fuentes, who's dribbling up the court, and he's working on Santiago. There's Dalby Jr., who misses. And the rebound goes to Derek Gomez, who gives it over to Post. Post back to Mason Santiago. And this is Oscar Martinez looking for Post. Dribbles away from Miles Fuentes. Mason Santiago dribbles inside and over, shoots him. The ball's not tipped, so that's going to be a turnover. It'll be Riviera Prep ball. And we're in the fourth period of the Miami Holiday Invitational. You're watching it on FSPN. The three-time defending Florida Class 2A state champions, the Riviera Prep Bulldogs, have the lead here by 14 now. And they have a 1-2 combination of two brothers, a junior and a senior, Miles Fuentes. And there's a feed inside to J.J. Watt. Hard-fought rebound there, goes to Bishop Foster. Kicks it out to Post, Caden Post. He finds Mason Santiago, who kicks it over to Oscar Martinez. And this one goes back. That was Derek Gomez who missed the three. Miles Fuentes working on Post. And here's his brother, Mason. That one's hit out of bounds, and it'll continue to be some substitutions. Number 5, Baldwin, coming back into the game. So is Richard Rosa. Coming out of the game is Derek Gomez and Oscar Martinez for the Marauders of St. Peter's. And I believe we have a timeout. We have some music, so I'm going to put you on mute, and we'll be right back. It's going to be a full timeout for St. Peter's Prep, the Marauders. All right, Uncle Muggs back here. We had to push mute because of the copyright. We don't want to get in trouble from YouTube. We're coming back to live, a 14-point game. Riviera Prep Bulldogs, they have the ball. They're playing a team from Jersey City, New Jersey, the St. Peter's Prep Marauders. They're led by their head coach, Alex Mirabal. Anthony Shabazz, three-time defending state champion Bulldogs. And they look like they can go back to state. There's Fuentes pushing off, and that's going to be a three-point play. The foul for Richard Rosa for the Marauders. Mason Fuentes is going to go to the line to shoot one. Fuentes makes his free throw. It's 53-36 in favor of Riviera Prep. Here comes Richard Rosa with the ball for the Marauders of St. Pete. Gives it up to Baldwin. Baldwin working Fuentes. Gives it back to Rosa. Rosa back to Baldwin. Back to Rosa. He's working Watt inside. Kicks it out to Baldwin. There's Post from three, and he buries that one. A much-needed three with 5:57 left to go in this game. 14-point game. There's Watt, gives it up to Dowsey Jr. Hits back iron, and it's not a friendly iron at that. loses it, but picks up his rebound, and that's Quincy Dalby Jr. And we've called his name a couple times here in the second half.